and then spank
Right.
her.
So okay, then. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome
Hello,
back
Nick.
to Beer Analysis 101 with your host, Maxwell Starr. Tonight, we're doing a selection of October-y themed beers. So it could be a fall beer, it could be like a harvest beer, seasonal, whatever, or spooky beers. Ooh, get your pumpkin going. That was dumb. But yeah, let's move on to see who we have with us, starting with Mr. Lee of High Tide and Vibe. How you doing tonight, there, Lee?
Good, Nicholas. How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad. Yourself?
You already
I already
already
asked
asked
that
me.
part. I don't know. It's just sort of force of habit after like somebody asked me that on a phone call or something at work, and I'm like, oh, it's not too bad. Yourself? It's just sort of like muscle
No,
memory.
I get what you're saying. It's one of those weird things where sometimes you just say something stupid when you don't think about it. Like I remember one time someone like when I was a kid they stopped their car right beside me and asked me like where a certain street was, and I was like, oh, it's down that way, and they said thank you, and I said thank you, and then yeah,
Right
it's
on.
like
All right.
why am I thanking them?
Mm.
Sometimes
All
it's
right.
just
So
automatic. You just say thank you. It's a Canadian thing.
exactly, or no problem.
Mm.
All right. So Lee, what did you get for the night?
All right, since I didn't really have any spooky beers I could draw from that I think the only thing was like something I already had on one of these previous fucking shows. So, uh, I got this. This is new to me in the NSLC, and it's a style that I think fits with the cooler weather, especially when I get into the review of it, how it sort of differs from the traditional interpretations of the style. But Beerwick Brown Ale from Smokos Brewery here in Berwick, Nova Scotia. So.
So Berwick Brown Ale from
No, it's beer.
Smokehouse.
It's Beerwick Brown Ale.
Interesting.
BEER.
I haven't heard anything from BE or so it's almost like a play on Berwick or something.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Let's move over to the beard. Hey, Redbeard. How you doing tonight?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. You?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing just great. You?
I'm
All
not
right.
bad.
No. What do you got for a beer, dude? Is it Bellwoods? I'm guessing it's Bellwoods. Considering you just got that massive box of Bellwoods.
Oh, that as far as Bellwoods go, that's a good one. At least it used to be.
Which one's that?
Spooky.
Hellwoods. Oh.
Yes. 10% Imperial Stute.
Nice. Oh, you can tell us all about it here in a moment. And of course, we've got Jason.
No, I'm just Greg, Nick. I'm just hideously disfigured. I don't want you
We
to
all
see
know it's Greg because Jason's a virgin and we know you're not.
No, that's not true. I'm still waiting until marriage.
No, Jason, you have to wait till marriage.
I'm waiting for a church marriage. I didn't have a church wedding, so it's
Is
not
that why
right.
he's murdering all the slutty teens at the camp?
Yeah. I'm murdering because I'm horny, and that's how I get my horny out.
Greg's done nothing but butt stuff.
That's
true. Jesus,
nothing but soaking.
It's not even a plastic a hockey mask. That's just freeze dried bukkake.
Yeah.
Dude, gross.
This is actually just my face skin I peeled off after the last bukkake fest.
There you go.
God, dude, ice cream facial.
And look,
all right, Greg.
Like Jason, look at that.
Yeah.
Well, right. Nick, I happen to just by coincidence have an awful lot of spooky beers. So,
really,
of course, we're gonna have to pick. Now, too many beers to have a vote. So, because the only hardworking amongst you, Lee Russell, stacked all his wood today, he gets to pick my beer.
All right.
So I'm going to show them to you quickly, and Lee will decide. First possibility, Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA by New Belgian. Okay. And I don't think I've brought any of these on the show before. That's why I picked them all. They're all new. GLB Saison du Pump. It's a pumpkin saison. If you really want to torture me tonight, GLB Monster Tears Strawberry Milkshake IPA. That'll probably be terrible.
Did they get sued from calling it Grimace Tears?
I don't know, or if that was a different beer. I would have to look into that. But I know what you're talking about. I don't know what the reason it's not Grimace Tears anymore. By Three Floyds. This used to be a beer you used to have to line up for, and people like Joe did, and now it's a shelf turd. Three Floyds Zombie Dust.
Ooh.
Same brewery, Three Floyds, backmasking Imperial Stout.
Oh wow,
I'm just
that
trying
is.
let's
That's
just
the,
see how imperial this stout is. 9%, so not
Look at that-
crazy, but
look at
not
the
bad.
can art on that. That's awesome.
Just a regular stout, not an imperial.
A name that I've occasionally been known by, GLB's Etobicoke Choker. That's a double Belgian IPA.
Okay.
I don't think any of these are low. Yeah, well, I guess most of them are high ABV. The final one, I kind of did this one last week, but I thought I'd give it as an option anyway. Caramel Pumpkin, if anyone wants me. So, Mr. Lee, which one would you like me to see?
As much as I'd like to torch you, I like the can art better on the Imperial Stout, so I think I'll let you take that one. And yeah, look at that.
Yes, sir. I'll drink this one later to torture myself, anyways.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Imperial Stout by Three Floyds, backmasking.
That's
Crack open the can and pour it into the
high
mask.
tier shit. Backmasking, it says oatmeal on it, so it must be an
I will
imperial
not
oatmeal
pour it into
stout.
the mask, but I will pour it into my double Tempest glass.
Then into the mask. Okay.
I should drink a beer out of this mask.
Yeah, you could have filtered it through the mask. That's
It's a little thin.
the possibility.
That does actually look kind of thin.
Well, we shall see if it's thin.
All right.
There we go.
Oh, sexy. All right, we'll get you to tell us more about that here momentarily,
fuck.
but I'm going to introduce the beer that I've got tonight, which is literally a spooky beer, a candy sour from Trailway. Spooky candy sour, which is 6% ABV, and well, I'll get into what it says in a moment, but it's got kind of great for aliens and shit. This is one of the weirdest beers I've seen yet from Trailway, or any brewery really. But
Getting mixed messages from the labeling there. It's just like, yes, Alien technically is a horror movie, but like you don't really think of the little face huggers as spooky, like a ghost or anything like that. But
I find them super spooky. Spooky face huggers.
all right, so we'll do a quick recap now. At least here and back again and gone again. I guess we'll wait for her to tune in so we can ask her how she's doing.
Yeah, see if she can figure this out.
I need a.
I know she'll eventually learn how to operate a camera.
Here, I can drink beer with this
I'm
one.
here. My camera.
Yeah, it was weird. Your camera was working briefly there for like
Can
3
you guys hear?
seconds, and
Yeah.
it popped.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I know I had to turn it off because our internet's really bad tonight.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, it's
I have
all
no
good.
camera, unfortunately, I'll turn it on, show my beer, but
Oh.
that's why I turned my camera off.
She's breaking the rules.
Yeah,
Kick her
I
into the
noticed when we
fucking
were
show.
streaming a movie tonight. It's really bad.
No. It's all good. We'd rather have you here than on screen. But what do you got for beer?
What are the beers? Can you guys show your beers first? Sorry, I just want to see what you guys
Okay,
have
fine.
first.
Let's circle around. Let's go to Lee first. He's got
Okay, mine is Smokehouse's Beerwick Brown Ale from here in Nova Scotia. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Redbeard's got
Harrowoods Imperial Stout from Bellwoods.
and Greg has got
Backmasking oatmeal Imperial Stout.
that sounds very interesting. Okay, and I have Trailway Spooky Candy Sour with a not really that spooky, just scary. I suppose they are kind of spooky. The aliens.
If that thing throat raped you, you'd feel pretty spooked.
maybe.
Probably pretty impregnated in the chest. Anyway, let's move over to Laylee, who's first of all, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I'm doing very
Great.
good. I'm so tired. Oh my goodness, am I ever tired? I have like constant dreams about teaching class right now, so I'm not sleeping because it's all just like nerves and stuff.
Well,
So,
we're basically a bunch of
it's been
children,
great.
so teach us.
Yeah. So I have 2 beers that I brought tonight, but I already made my decision, I believe, because I saw everybody else's. Hopefully this works. Okay. Oh, I got my hat on.
Ooh,
Oh wow.
Yay!
yay!
Finally, somebody else brought a
There we go.
costume.
It's over my headphones, though. It's on my headphones. So it looks amazing right now. All right, so I have Lake of Bays pumpkin ale, and then I also have Whitewater pumpkin spice espresso porter.
Wow.
So I'm leaning towards this one because this one actually sounds different versus this one.
Yeah,
so I'm
it's
kind of getting your guys'
the-
feedback on what I should do.
the Whitewater one will be more of a different experience. You may like it, you might hate it, but it's not your typical pumpkin ale.
I might hate it, yeah. Yeah, so let's go with that one then. So I chose tonight Whitewater pumpkin spice espresso porter. It is a 4.4, so right off the bat, I feel like it's going to be a very thin beer.
Sounds like you're gonna have to cuvee them both.
Yeah.
All right,
Probably.
all right.
That means I have to
Take
drink
the lead.
another beer.
Yes, you do. Nick is eagerly typing away.
Yeah, I'm just writing down everybody's beer here. All right, so let's circle back around and go to Lee and say, Lee, what's your history with that beer?
This is like the third time having it. I just recently picked it up, like I think last week, and did a review on it on my channel. Smokehouse themselves, I've been picking up one or two other things that popped up in the NSLC in the last few months. Hope to get out to. These are words I usually don't say. Hope to get out to Berwick at some point in the near future and actually maybe see the brewery or whatever, or buy some shit at their brewery if they have a store or whatever. But yeah, generally everything I've had from them so far has been really excellent, and they make really good beers as far as I can tell, and I like their minimalist labels too. Very nice, very eye-catching, and not busy and full of bullshit like Flying Monkeys or some modern brewery that fucking wants to be so fucking hip and cool and edgy and whatever. I don't know. I'm done yelling at the clouds. It's fun.
Yeah, you let those clouds know who's boss.
All right. Let's go over to the beard. And beard, what's your history with this beer?
About that much.
Okay, well, I want more information because I'm curious. But what exactly is the difference between, like, say, a normal imperial stout and a Hellwoods? Like, what's the details on it? Explain to me like I don't know because I'm living in New Brunswick.
Well, Hellwoods is made by Bellwoods for one thing.
Can you
Yeah.
Thank you, genius.
It's just
Is there anything in it? Is it just an imperial
no.
stout?
It's just a straight up imperial stout.
Just straight up imperial stout, nothing fancy. It's just like cinnamon or pumpkin or
It's the base beer for all their other most of their
The
fancy
head brewers
stuff,
do
like Bring Out
coffee
Your
or
Dead and all that.
Yeah, I imagine they do something with it to make other beer. I know it's not the base beer for Bring Out Your Dead because that's that whatever I'm Not Dead or whatever beer that they released, which was okay but way too sweet. This one is just a more basic bitch imperial stout, but done very well as Bellwoods tends to do things, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to be drain pouring this.
Okay. Good to know. Spoilers. All right. Let's go over to Mr. Greggy. He's got a new mask on.
I do.
A new penis mask.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can really nose this. I don't know. I'm not up to date on my Bellwoods news, but Hellwoods at one point was the base for Bring Out Your Dead. They may have changed that at some point, but
Well, you've had the current one that was in the green label.
yeah, I know they brought out the It's Not Dead or whatever it is, but yeah, I just
Yeah.
know originally they did do Hellwoods as the base beer. They may have changed it at some point. I don't
Fair
know.
enough.
I'm talking back like 2012 or something. Whenever the fuck it first came out. So, yes, I got my penis mask. My history with this beer is I had one because I bought, like I said, this stuff. Three Floyds used to be a real hot brewery that nerds like you would line up for, and now Now they're all shelf turds. You can just buy them in grocery stores. So I bought a mixed pack. A 12-pack came with three varieties or three of each. And I had one when I was in the States, although I was already drinking, so I maybe don't remember it the most. And that's my history with it. This is the first time actually kind of sitting down, actually trying it out.
All right.
And it is a bit thin.
And looking, all right. So yeah, we'll talk about Greg's beer here in a moment, but I also want to add to the Hellwoods thing just because I'm looking at the Bellwoods site. According to Bellwoods, it was their very first imperial stout that they ever brewed.
It was when Bellwoods was a small brewery. They had like 6 beers. Hellwoods was one of the first. It used to be a regular thing they had. Now they release it like once a year.
Cool beans.
Well, they've got so many different imperial stouts they kind of rotate through these days. So,
yeah, now they have like 300 different beers, but like this is back when they just first started. They had like 6 beers on their menu, and it was like, that's all you get.
All right.
Yeah, they've come a pretty long way.
Yeah, their place is huge. They bought like the 2 stores next to them, and now I don't know if you ever been to the brewery on Ossington. I think you did go. Now they've like expanded it all the way. It goes right to the corner now, and it's like a whole restaurant and everything. It's huge.
Holy crap.
Well, don't they also have 2 other locations as well?
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway,
we're going by there.
You got beer nerd money now.
I went by there once in 2017 with Chad, and it was closed at the time, so we couldn't go in, but it was just like basically a hole in the wall in comparison to what you're describing now.
Oh, yeah. Well, now the hole in the wall is expanded all the way to the corner. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What Bellwoods is originally is Bellwoods bought out a garage.
So that's a glory hole.
So if you actually look at the building, like the restaurant for Bellwoods, which is small, was the auto body, like the reception area. And then the shop beside it, the bottle shop, was actually where the car went into.
I think that's how it was the first time I went there. I think I did go there before they went all crazy with and just kind of exploded like they have. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that building still exists. It's still being used. It's just now they've expanded. I haven't even been to it since it's expanded, but I've just seen on their Instagram or whatever social media they post on.
Wow.
But it's like, because their old restaurant was so freaking small, and it was annoying because you'd go there like on a Thursday night, and it would be like, yeah, there's an hour and a half wait to get in because we have like 10 tables. Like, and everyone in Ossington goes there because they're all hipsters. So it's like, yeah, this is annoying. But
yeah.
So cheers to them. They got beer nerd money now.
Yeah, man.
Nice. All right. So while our internet holds out, let's put Lady Lee on screen and get her history on the beer.
Good old Sam.
As her internet holds out, that's just she unfroze. Okay.
Yeah, it's our internet.
I think I'm good.
Oh, I can hear you now.
It cut it real bad.
Yeah, it's still, I think, a little on the choppy side. You don't have to have a camera on if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Nice that Nick
I was going to show off Sam. So Sam is going to be our representative tonight. So, history with this beer. Sam has never had it before. Neither have I. I've had a few things from Whitewater. I think they kind of have, like, I tend to lean towards them because they have interesting beers that are like kind of down my alley. So I can't remember which ones I've had, but I know I've tried quite a few because they tend to pique my interest. But specifically, I've never had this one before. So this is a first time try for me. Right, Sam?
Awesome.
Yeah. The end.
All right. Thank you, Sam. All right. Let's go to a new arrival here who's going to tell us how he's doing, his beer, and shit all within like 30 seconds.
30 seconds, eh? Okay.
No,
well,
I'm kidding.
I got 30 seconds. Well, my name is Dan. I am all over the place. And yes, I'm an alcohol. Oh, wrong channel. Sorry, guys. I was trying to figure out what beer I was going to bring to the table because there's so many different ones I have. And those two are being sent. So you know what? We're doing this one. It's one that everyone loves, everyone has, and everyone thinks they probably have. I don't know who else has this, but Paranormal is back for another review. I'm going to be doing this one tonight, and it is best before April 27th, 2028.
Jesus.
And my history is I've had it a few times.
All right. So what was the beer called again?
Paranormal.
Paranormal. From
Flying
Flying
Monkeys
Monkeys.
and Imperial Pumpkin Beer, whatever.
Yeah.
I believe that's the brewery that Lee just insulted. Man,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm on par here. Excellent.
Well, he didn't insult their beer. He insulted their labels and how over the top ridiculous they can be. And I kind of agree.
They can be. They can be.
back in the day, the albino rhino used to claim get annoyed because he couldn't read it all because he was legally blind, even though he can drive in the Arctic.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, when you're just driving on snow, you're running over things. They're very frozen.
When everything is white, you need to be able to discern the edges of snowbanks, and you need even better vision when you're in that kind of shitty. I don't know.
If he falls, he falls.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Dan. Yeah, he actually did that in about 30 seconds. So it's just kind of really impressive considering he was joking. But my beer, well, obviously I don't have to go into history about my history with Trailway, but I'll talk about the beer. I know it's been out for a couple of years to keep making it around Halloween, but I have not yet had a chance to try it. This is my first time. It's my second can of it, but it's my first time actually trying.
The hell color is that like a deep blue?
It's a purple.
It is a blue raspberry sour.
Oh,
I'm
raspberry candy sour.
That's terrifying.
That's one of those beers you could give somebody who hates beers and they never know it's a beer. Probably, eh?
I mean, literally, the head on this thing is blue.
Looks like something they drink in Star Trek or some shit.
Yeah.
It literally looks like Romulan ale.
I really want to try that. God damn you!
Here, have some Andorian coffee.
The color of that's nuts. Do you have a light? You can hold it behind it.
Yeah, hold on. I got my flashlight on my phone.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Fuck you, fruit fly. Yeah, that's
like
literally is.
That's really pretty. It's one of those things. If you had like one of those like light up ice cubes and dropped it in there, and then you had it like on Star Trek, perfect.
Like you see, it's like really kind of even a blue head.
Yeah.
Am I getting like the blue candy? Maybe a little. But yeah, like I said, second can of having this. It's the first time they've actually released it in the NBL, but I didn't even buy this at the Lanby Liquor Store. Actually, I got lucky to find 2 cans of it at Long Bay Brewing, who brought some in, and it's because it all flew off the shelf. This sold out really fast. But I think this is maybe like the 3rd or 4th year that they've brewed this beer, but I'm glad to finally get a chance to try this, because usually it's just when they brew for Halloween at the brewery. And we've lost Lady Lee, I think. All right, so who wants to volunteer to read comments?
I can go through them real quick here.
All right, thank you, Lee.
Okay, so we have Jimmy C in tonight saying, "Good evening, gentlemen."
Good evening.
Good evening.
We have Scott Myers, the head of Moosehead, saying, "Good evening, bitches," and Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one of the first times that he hasn't called you a bitch, Nick. This is a progress in your friendship.
Turning a new corner where he's not making fun of me evermore.
I feel like your friendship is mending here. He goes on to say, if Moosehead made a October beer, I'd totally be there.
Could have got that Derek's the IPA, but it's poison or whatever it was. Or
that's right. It is poison.
Stout.
IPAs are poison for poor Scott. I remember that. And also he goes on to say, I would not consider Greg a doctor in any era in relation to the mask he had on, which resembled a plague doctor's mask. But I don't know if is that one considered an actual plague doctor's mask or
Probably not. It's just a mask I picked up for like $5 at Spirit Halloween.
Yeah. And then we have Marson in the chat saying, howdy, bitches.
Howdy.
And there we go. Yeah.
See, unlike
Alright.
Scott, Marson includes Nick as a bitch. So
Mhm.
Marson's more inclusive than Scott
More
is.
inclusive.
I don't like segregating Nick to his, outside bitchiness or whatever.
And I know you're
Whatever
usually a
realm
supporter of
Scott wants to put
segregation.
Nick in.
We have bitch apartheid going on in the.
Bitch apartheid. Oh god.
All right, so I'll talk about my beer.
All right.
So we're not.
Thank God
just like-
somebody's taking charge.
Since we're not, so we kill the dead air here.
Oh,
So-
I'm
so-
having so many internet issues.
We hadn't noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So the thing that's interesting about this is it's not your traditional brown ale. Definitely not like a traditional like sweeter style kind of brown ale that you would probably expect. Like usually you'll get like a brown ale, and if it's got any bitterness at all, it's got like a kind of a nutty bitterness to it, maybe something like that. This doesn't really have that. It's got like confectionery chocolate in the aroma, and then it's got this little bit more than subtle smoke kind of quality to it. The interesting thing though is that changes from the actual aroma to the taste. So the smokiness in the actual aroma is more like a fatty meat smoke kind of thing, like you get out of like a roast beer or something like that. So it's more like bacon, or like not even bacon, but like jerky kind of smoked kind of smell. When you get to the taste, it's very, very hardcore, like confectionery chocolate, baker's chocolate kind of a taste, and the smokiness turns into more of like a roasty stout kind of smokiness, which I really like. It's definitely not going to be for everyone, but it's a brown ale that is just a different type of brown ale than I've had actually really ever had before. And I found it like really unique and quite interesting. 5.2%. So, it's not particularly heavy or anything like that. And this is the IBUs are only 24, so it's like the bitterness and stuff like that I'm getting is definitely the smokiness more than anything else. It's not really the hops or anything. They say it's a traditional American brown ale. So I don't know if I've ever had a brown ale before in style. And yeah, I like it a lot. Like it quite a bit. When I reviewed it on my channel, I gave it a 8.5 for style and 8.5 for personal preference, and I stick with that rating. I liked it a lot. It's like close to a stout, but not quite a stout. Still noticeably like a brown ale, and I just like it for its uniqueness. So it's pretty cool.
All right, I apologize. I was writing stuff down, so I missed the ratings that you gave it. What was
Dick.
I 2 8.5s.
8.5s? All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
285 out of 5.
All right, let's go to the beard. Let's see how Bellwood's OG, what do you call it, Imperial Stout lines up.
This is fucking delicious. Like, it's boozy, but not boozy like a barrel-aged stout. It's thick, chewy almost, like it's raisiny, figgy.
Ooh.
9.5s across the board. That's delightful.
Sounds like you're chewing on it.
It's sticky.
Nice.
And I got another can of this in the fridge. Yeah.
Sweet. That's kind of what you want from Imperial Stout. I almost wonder if they've tweaked it since.
Yeah, it's
Sounds better than that other one that they made, like I'm Not Dead.
yeah, that one was way too sweet. Way too sweet. This one here is just like a fantastic example of a well-made imperial stout. Really well-made imperial stout.
Nice.
Yeah. Recommended.
All right. Thank you, Redbeard. Let's go over to Ghost Greg.
Hello, Nick.
Hey, Greg.
There we
So
go.
how's your
hairline.
Three Floyds? The
Actually, it was,
classiest, probably the classiest beer we've ever had on this channel.
Actually, I was drinking a zombie dust while I was waiting for you guys. I gotta say, this is beer.
It's beer.
It is
No,
a
it's
beer.
It's beer.
It's 4 months old, being a shelf turd, but it's still pretty good. I can see why people used to line up for this, even though I probably wouldn't. But I have had this actually fresh, and it was better. But anyways, enough of this. So really, going by memory, funny enough, I haven't had a Hellwoods in several years, probably about 3 or 4 years. This kind of reminds me of a Hellwoods, to be honest. It's thinner, I think it is anyway, but again, memory. But it's other than being thin, it is actually a very solid imperial stout. All sorts of delicious flavors, figgy, raisiny, motor oil, all the good things you want from a stout. Chocolate. It's not overly. It's well balanced. It's not overly sweet. It's not overly bitter either. So, and I hate the sweet things. So, in fact, Hellwoods. I remember there was one batch I got that was overly sweet, and I wasn't too keen on that. But I think they fixed it after that.
You also got a bunch of bad bring out your deads that kind of turned you off the brewery almost completely. But
there's that, but I've never gotten I would not expect to get an infected Hellwoods because it's not barrel aged. But no, the Bring Out Your Dead was straight up infected, and the fact that it was the whole batch, I'm like, this is not. You guys don't have. Whoever's looking after your barrels isn't doing a very good job. I've never had a bad.
There's a certain brewery that may or may not be in the current city that I'm in that's managed to infect entire batches of non-barrel aged beers.
Well,
That's
probably.
Oh, right. That's my town.
Oh, wow! Jeez, Nick dishing out the dirt on the Moosehead pissing controversy. Luckily, Nick.
Well, the one where they caught the worker urinating in the tank from the
Sing Tao, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Luckily, Nick hasn't signed the NDA that he has to not disparage Moosehead, so he can still disparage them until Scott gets that new job.
You know what? Depending on what stage of the brewing process and how big the batch of beer is, one person peeing, you'd probably never know. To be honest, it's still fucking gross, but you could probably get away with it.
It's gross, but I mean, yeah, you're sadly right that a little bit of urine's not going to make a big difference. It's just like with chocolate, like rats and mice get into the big piles of chocolate. Cocoa beans that they get in Africa. So when they're roasting the beans, sometimes turds get mixed in. So there's a good chance that when you're eating even the finest of chocolates, you're eating rat turd.
Well, isn't there like the allowable amount of whatever? There's allowed to be the tiniest amount of like hair and stuff.
Yeah,
there's an allowable.
It's very minuscule, but it's possible to get rat turd in chocolate.
People complain about getting a minuscule amount of rat feces in their diet every year, and then at the same time, they're getting how much microplastics in their blood every year?
Oh, it's in people's bone marrow and shit at this point. I think I read it's fucking crazy, man. Like we're slowly becoming bionic, but not even by choice.
I guess bottom line is if you wanna eat healthy, you got to start your own farm and just grow all your own shit and make sure the soil's not contaminated.
And even then, you're probably still not going to avoid microplastics.
Yeah.
Well, that's depressing. But anyways.
All right. So, Greg, did you give your beer a rating?
I did not, but it's a good one. I like this. For style, so let's say it's oatmeal stout. They don't even call it an imperial stout, do they? They just said no. They just call it an oatmeal stout. So
9.5. They don't call it imperial, really? Wow.
I'm trying to. Well, it's 9, but close.
Okay, I thought you said 9.5.
I know where it says imperial on it. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's an oatmeal stout. So is an oatmeal stout. It's the best oatmeal stout ever made because it's not even imperial and it's 9%. So this is a 10 out of 10 on style, clearly. And overall enjoyment, that's a good one. I'm going to give this one a 9. I would, if this is something I could regularly get, I would happily buy this all the time. It's better than most stouts you can get in Ontario. So yeah, I would 100% drink this all the time.
All right.
It's 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm knocking off points a little bit is a little bit thin. Then again, being an oatmeal stout, is it thin for an oatmeal stout? A non-imperial oatmeal stout? Maybe not. So maybe I shouldn't.
Well, oatmeal stouts are usually thicker, so you'd think it'd be a little thinner.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
I'm always kind of disappointed here
non-imperial
it's
oatmeal
thin,
stouts,
but I mean, I'd still probably trade a testicle to try that beer.
Wow.
That's
Jesus, Nick. I mean, Nick, if you really want one, we can arrange to get one to you, and you don't even have to give me one.
Yes, I would like one, but I don't actually want to give up a testicle for it.
The only thing you'll have to do is sign a contract saying, like, Lady Lee can have your dead body for table purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be the only thing. But you'll be dead then anyway. You won't care.
That's gonna
she just left.
She did well. Yeah, her internet's gone to shit.
Yeah.
She couldn't even hear our reviews.
That makes no sense. Like,
it makes sense because her parents probably got suckered by some.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's where she is right now. For him, yeah.
Mm.
Oh well,
still messed up.
All right, thanks, Greg.
Yes, I wouldn't cut a testicle off for it, but it is a very solid beer. There you go. And it's 4 months old as well. Although for a stout, I don't think it matters as much.
Nah, that's not.
I don't know. I just always like from the very beginning of my beer tube career, I remember Three Floyds was like one of the biggest, hippest beers that you could get, hipster beers you could get. So it was kind of like,
well, they've expanded.
One of those.
Like literally, you know where I picked this up?
It's like probably like Cigar City, right? What do you get at the duty free shop or some shit?
No, I picked this up at Kroger's. So I don't know. Make a friend in the make a friend in the States like Joe, who will maybe send you a box. Or something.
Oh, Joe's dead. We all know it. There's Paul.
I was gonna say I didn't actually see it in South Carolina. I'm not saying it's not there. I just personally didn't see it on the shelf, but it is in Michigan for sure.
Literally just made the best typo ever. My interest is poop.
Wow, Jesus.
She just doesn't care. She just doesn't care about us at all. So
if you're gonna have me, no, she's just very interested in feces, and I mean, you know what? Someone's got to study it.
Very well be. I mean, it was to talk about the rat poop.
So, well, then she should have stayed if her interest.
Rat poop in your chocolate. All right, so thank you, Greg. Let's move on. Let's just cut the chase and go over to Dan. See what he says about his beer. How's that paranormal drinking?
Like a paranormal. Honestly,
it.
All right. Good night. No. It has its pumpkin spices. It has the actual sort of pumpkin flavor in there. It is a good imperial 10% pumpkin ale. Yes, I said good. It's one of the ones that I actually will go to on a yearly basis to have. Yeah, the allspice cinnamon and other pumpkin spice that they put in pies actually comes through quite nicely. It's an ale. It's not thick. It's nice and ale-ish. Honestly, it's one that I do enjoy. Yeah, it's the only pumpkin beer that I actually enjoy that doesn't overpower it, try to kick the crap out of your taste buds, doesn't put pumpkin in, whatever else. It actually is a very smooth 10% ABV pumpkin ale, which, and for the price point it is, used to be $5, now it's like $7. Thanks, inflation. But it's still really good. So for its style, it's a 10. For enjoyability, it's an 8. I will handle it. I buy it every year, and I have at least one every year. So that's pretty much how that one goes.
All right.
And funny is, I don't even think we can get that at the LCBO anymore. I think you have to order it from the brewery.
I haven't seen it
That's crazy.
in a few years.
Yeah, it's
I
a
remember-
solid,
yeah.
it's a solid beer. I just don't. Well, I don't know. Maybe I can put an order of.
I remember really liking that beer. I remember having it, but I remember I had like a boxed bottle of it that I had held on to for 5 years, and even after that much time, the whole fucking thing held up. It's a pretty decent beer. Like I was like scared to drink it, but it ended up turning to be perfectly fine, even after
Yep.
that much time.
And yeah, I mean, it comes to Calgary, and yeah, I've heard stories that it doesn't show up in the LCBO. But I mean,
Yeah,
you guys
weird.
also get the Theater of Madness there, and we don't. So that kind of pisses me
We
off.
do, and Theater of Madness is quite good as well.
You guys get Flying Monkeys, period. I don't see shit from there.
That's
The
true.
amount of beers I get from anywhere else these days has gone down. That's why we're doing so many of these BYOB episodes. 'Cause fuck you, ANBO. Anyway, thank you, Dan. And I might as well, hopefully maybe Lady Lee will come back, but we might as well talk about my beer in the meantime here. So I had some notes that I had written down here because, me, bad memory and shit. So the beer's kind of got this candy sour, like the sour keys. It's got that citric acid sourness that you get licking the sugar off of one of those things. Now it's not like a super sweet beer. It's kind of like a mild sour. It's got that typical blue raspberry flavor that you would expect to get from a blue raspberry candy. It's like a lemon, blueberry, raspberry kind of mix. There's some cereal grains coming up in the back in the afterbreath of the beer, which is kind of like a good kettle sour. In this case here, if you're expecting to get a candy sour that tastes exactly like blue raspberry candies, they nailed it. The only thing I would say that about this that I don't that I kind of wish that maybe they made it a little bit on the sweeter side just to nail that blue raspberry flavor home even more. I think if they were to do that, it'd probably be less refreshing because it's actually going down. I'm trying not to drink all this, and it's going down really easy and really quick, and I'm really enjoying this. I would say for the style, I mean, I've never had anything you would call a candy sour before, but for nailing the fact that it actually tastes like blue raspberry candies, it's a 9.5 for style. And for overall enjoyment, I'm going to throw an 8.5. I'm actually really liking this. I would definitely recommend and definitely get this again. Like, it's a unique experience compared to like an imperial stout or something or a pumpkin beer. It's just if you want something to taste like Halloween candy, this is it. All right, so I noticed in the Facebook chat for BA101, Lady Lee is not able to come back on. She said that her review is, as expected, the beer is a little thin. It does have this. She's talking about the Whitewater Pumpkin Spice Espresso Porter at this point. So does the beer's a little thin? It does have a lot of flavor. It basically tastes like an iced pumpkin spice espresso where the ice is melted. It's surprisingly not very sweet, which is a con for me, but that means it has that bitter taste coffee drinker love. I'll give it a 7.5 for style. The flavors on the can are what I taste, but it's very thin. For preference, it's a 7. It's got good flavor, but it's very bitter, and I wish it was sweeter. Still sounds like something that I'd be interested in trying at some point, but it's kind of right in the ballpark where I kind of expect the beers compared to other beers I've had from Wastewater. It's just like that sounds like an interesting beer, but I'd probably take a number of other beers over it. All right, so the votes, the votes are in. We'll let anybody want to read the comments. I'm assuming,
Yeah,
Lee.
I'll
Here we
keep
go.
them going here. So Scott goes on to say, for the record, I care for Nick unquestioningly and without reservation.
Ah,
Yeah, because you don't want to pay for the hotel anymore.
wow.
Okay. Marson goes on to say that my beer sounds like a meal, or maybe I sound like a meal. I don't know. We could be one or the other.
You'd be a big tasty snack.
Yeah, in relation to the Piston beer, Marson goes on to say, and yet they still sold the infected beer. My question would be, did they know it was Piston beforehand before they sold it?
You may have been talking about the Bellwoods beer I was talking about.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Or they could have been talking about the potential brewery from my town who, how did you not try the beer before you fucking started selling it?
As far as the Tsingtao incident goes, they actually isolated the batch the guy pissed in and then threw it out.
Okay.
What's that famous beer that went bad and they sold it as a sour? It was dark.
Oh, it was King of the Forest from
Yeah.
from what was the brewery? Dark Horse, the one Ewart brought. Oh, let's sell it as a Wild Ale or something. It was.
Well, that's why I always say
gross.
every time you buy a sour, you're essentially buying an infected beer. It's it's intentionally infected, but still.
Yeah. Paul goes on to say, "Cheers, all. I'll be out at 11 p.m."
Cheers, Paul.
Cheers.
He has a question that we'll save for the end of the show. Although Marson answers it saying Bud Light. Yeah, I don't think that's what's going to be, but
transition to Bud Light at some point.
Scott goes on to say, "You pay for the hotel room, I'll pay for the good time."
Jesus.
There we go. Quiz Pamps hookers.
And Scott's also asking that magic question. Paul says, "King of the Forest, Dark Horse, yes. $60 a bottle, thanks, yours."
Was that shit really fucking $60 a bottle? I didn't realize it was that expensive.
Well, we didn't pay for it. It's a joke on him, but I mean, at the same time, he made up for it when he gave us Abyss, which was woo.
Oh,
you were the kind of a guy that would buy it just because it's $60 a bottle. He likes the idea that he can afford something a lot of people can't.
What the fuck is Ewart? It's a dumb name. Jesus.
I thought it is a Ewart anyway. I thought it was Joe that brought the Deschutes Abyss.
Oh, was it Joe?
Ewart that brought. It was Ewart that brought the Black Tuesday from.
Black Tuesday. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
The legend of the very first Alabama Beer Fest, which is probably the best one. Okay, so let's circle back around and just ask the magic question. Since Lee is up there right now, I'll ask: of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you rather have had?
Nick's was intriguing, but I'm not in the mood for sour anything, honestly. And I'm not a big candy person to begin with. So, fuck that shit. I think... it's a toss-up between Redbeard and fucking Greg. I'm just gonna go with Greg's can art. That's what sets it over for me. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, because they both sound like they're kind of like, even though technically I guess they're not calling it an Imperial Stout on the can. For most people who aren't Greg, that would be an Imperial Stout of some sort. So it's kind of like
an Imperial Stout. So what am I to do?
Yeah, so it's like It's basically which basic bitch Imperial Stout sounds a little bit better. The one with oatmeal sounds a little bit better.
Come on, though, like that. It's more simplistic, right. But I honestly like it.
I like that. Hellwood's art. If you actually look up they've had a couple different can arts. I think there was one with an axe or something. That was the last can art, and their original can art was like a devil on it. It was just kind of devil with like a twirly mustache. So they've actually had good can art. I do like their can art on that beer in its various iterations. I'm actually kind of surprised because the one Carrie has, that's been their can art for about 6 or 7 years at this point. I'm surprised.
I like the can art on both. Don't get me wrong, but there's just something about it just works for October a bit more. They have the satanic imagery on it. I like that, so we'll go for that. Hail Satan!
Right.
There we go.
All right. Thank you, Lee. Let's go to Redbeard and say which one would you rather have had? Moi. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Carey. I see you winking there. I see you, baby. All right. Lady Lee is not here to vote, so we'll just move on to Dan.
She voted for Nick.
She voted for me. All right.
She's in the comments there.
Nice.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, I know I'm not winning tonight because I brought a beer that everyone's had and whatever. So I'm going to go and Greg, can you please hold up your can just to see what I've got here? Oh, right there. Sorry, that's the winner right there. Got to do
All
it.
right, so Dan
There we
votes
go.
for backmasking.
Appealing to Dan's death metal. Ooh, Lady Lee is back.
Yeah.
You know what? I went right
Sorry,
by
please.
Greg.
Mr. Lee, can you just remind me what you have?
Yeah, I've got Smokehouse's Beerwick Brown Ale that is one of the most unique brown ales I've ever had.
It's super spooky.
Ooh.
Well, it's not spooky, but it's definitely more seasonal appropriate as being a brown ale and all. It's
Well,
months.
so I'm at an impasse here because really I've tried every beer here except for Lee's and Nick's, and I have zero interest in Nick's beer. So I guess that would make Lee the winner by default, although I'd probably, if I had the choice what to drink right now, I'd probably wouldn't mind be drinking a Hellwoods right now because I have good memories of that beer.
Well, how long has it been since you've had one?
Oh, probably 3 or 4 years.
Chances are it's at least a bit different then.
Hold on. He said the greatest 2 words in the English language: default, default, default.
Default.
Yeah, you vote.
The whole thing is, which beer would you have rather have had? It can be technically a beer you've already
Yeah, it
drank.
doesn't have to. It isn't. What beer would you have liked to try that you've never tried before?
He's voted for Lee.
Yeah, listen to him. Listen to Nick trying to change it. You're probably going to win already, Nick, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, neither Redbeard or Lee are going to win anyway, so I vote for Lee.
All right.
I hope when you die, Lady Lee puts you in the footstool, not a table.
She can only have so many tables, so eventually the first person to die is going to get the most prominent position. After that, you're going to be like designated to like coffee tables and like side furniture.
Yeah, like you break it down. A footstool is just a small table for your feet. Still a table.
Shut the fuck up, Carrie.
Same.
All right. So let's move over to me so I can cast my vote for who I think is going to win. And
Mine has, I guess I
admit,
put mine in the chat.
yeah, Lady Lee. So you're saying
I voted for Nick's beer because I hate everything dark. So
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, that's going to shut the chat and the whole channel down.
Jesus.
Way to go, Lady Lee.
yes, everything's dark when it comes to beers. These guys. Way to make it.
Voice clip forever right there.
Yeah, thanks for your vote there, Eva Braun. Jesus Christ.
oh, did not see that coming.
Cool. Yes,
Jamie's going to have a heyday with this one.
because we're talking beers, so automatically, like, you guys have to associate it with something else. Yes.
She said she hated everything dark, not everything circumcised.
Oh. All right. So
Anyway, doesn't matter.
all right,
Well,
so,
now Nick's taking down this chat.
It's not staying. My vote's for
okay.
Nick.
Okay. All
Votes
right.
for Nick?
Thank you, Lady Lee. So
Jamie?
that
You guys saw the description?
Yes.
We did.
Okay.
And read
Thank
it.
you.
And Nick
yeah,
read it.
I read it when you wrote it. All right. So my vote here is, which one would I rather have had? Well, I look at the list of beers, and Whitewater. As much as I like Lady Lee, Whitewater, it does sound actually kind of interesting, but not as interesting as a pair of Imperial Stouts. I would say
Imperial
that
Ale.
between the two of the Imperial Stouts that Greg and Beard have, Greg's being a bit on the thin side made me think I'd rather have the Hellwoods. The Hellwoods actually sounds amazing. So my vote goes to Carrie.
Yay! Thanks,
Which
man.
also means there is now a two-way tie for the winner, which is a toss-up between me, the Spooky, and the Three Floyds from Greg.
Wait, is that 2 each?
Yeah, we got 2
So
votes.
there's one vote for Lee. There's one vote for.
There should be 2 votes for Lee, shouldn't there?
Huh? Who
Greg,
else
did
voted for Lee?
you vote for Lee?
Yeah, he did.
I voted for
Did.
Manly.
And I voted for Manly as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I thought you voted for Greg.
So is that a three-way
Oh,
tie?
sorry.
Mike?
No, because I asked.
No, it can't be a three-way tie.
Oh, yeah,
You're
I did. I voted
yeah,
for.
no, Dan
Sorry,
absolutely
never mind
voted
me.
for.
Never mind
screwing
me.
everything up here.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Jesus
You're right. I
Christ.
voted for Greg.
All right,
My bad.
so I am gonna actually allow a vote from the chat, which I know runs counter. You could say me accepting votes is conflict of interest, not in this case because I'm gonna give it to Greg. So PA Bruno says "Hail Satan" and votes for Greg.
What can I say?
That means
I appealed to the dark crowd today.
Yeah.
That means the Three Floyds, first time ever appearing on this channel, is the winner.
I mean,
that is a fucking awesome label.
hard to say no.
I'm sorry. That is just an amazing label.
I will admit that looks pretty fun.
I would buy that.
It's basically it's just a picture of that statue that exists with some thing. It's not that it's not that amazing about label. I don't know.
My
It's
goodness.
cool looking, but I don't know.
Listen,
What is going on?
calm down. Don't
Marcin also votes Greg. Yeah.
Don't you badmouth Baphomet.
I do like the color.
Motherfucker.
I do like black, red and black are my two favorite colors, so I do like that.
Let people like what they want to like.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
The black goat.
Never.
I'm just really kind of impressed that Spooky actually almost beat a Three Floyds, but I yield. So
I didn't even know which brewery it was. The label fucking sold me. So
It's Three Floyds, the brewery that Joe and you used to be lining up for, and now it's a shelf turd. I bought this at Kroger's.
yeah, all right, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, come on, Kroger. It's better than buying it at Target.
No, but it was available at Target. I didn't buy it, but it was available there. Yeah. I ain't fucking kidding when I'm saying it's a shelf turd now.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, I retract that statement I just made. If it's available at Target, fuck it.
Hold on, I got something.
Oh my God.
Well, we're discussing shit later on. So, given the nature of this being a BYOB episode, we don't really have the scores at the end of the episode, but we do have the winner in this case, which is, of course, Greg, who's thankfully left. But I mean, not really thankfully. I'm speaking. Hi, Greg.
He's right there.
BA Rudy says the Black God of the Woods for 1,000 years. Right. And Albino Reno is in the chat saying hi. Hi, Chad.
Oh, hey,
All
Alina Reno. I loved you since high school.
All right, so both
I had my original zombie dust can that Joe sent me many years ago before Joe hated me. But yeah, back when Joe used to send me like rare beers, he sent me a can of the original zombie dust back when it was hard to get, and yeah, it was fucking amazing. It was also like 3 days old when he sent it to me. So yeah,
I got a zombie beer. Does that count? It's a cocktail inspired sour.
Yeah, we're talking about Three Floyds here.
Oh, sorry,
all right, so Pia News and Scott have both asked the magic question of what is next week's beer, and the next week's beer is going to be, next Wednesday is going to be the day after Halloween. So, I mean, I'm drinking my candy beer tonight, but theoretically, we're going to say let's have candy beers next week. Now, I'm going to open that definition up so that we can have more people join up. And which is we're gonna have like candy. It could be dessert beers. It could
Chocolate.
be fruits. What?
Chocolate.
Chocolate beers. Chocolate. Like a dessert. Or it could be like fruit smoothies. So
and we might expand it out to beer.
Or dessert.
So what you're saying is my strawberry milkshake IPA will be saved till next week.
Yeah. So like stuff like chocolate soft serve, ice cream sundae. I probably won't drink this one because this is like 8 months old at this point.
So it's gonna be the diabetes fucking edition.
This will be the diabetes chat because the main interest is
the day after Halloween.
Yeah, that would count. That would count definitely, Dan, and it's also we're doing it even though you may or may not show up. It'll also
I'll do my best to show up.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
considering if
the
you do
Wilford
show up,
Proctor Power Hour.
yeah, if you do show up, it's a Dan episode. So because Dan's gonna turn the big 5-0 here.
So, dessert beers,
Dessert beers.
Come on,
Bring
Yeah.
your
come
best
on,
dessert
Dan.
beers, motherfuckers.
candy
Come on,
beers,
Dan. Just
chocolate
empty your
beers.
balls a little quicker and off
Yeah,
and
right.
not join
BA101, Dan Abetes edition.
The
Yeah.
Damn it! Hey, that I like that. I like that.
Paul says
You
it would
like
be
that,
available,
Sam?
but your harvest ale would have worked this week, unless it's like chocolate cheesecake or Black Forest harvest ale or some bullshit like that. Then you can do that, but it's got
Oh,
to
do
be
the
like
internet work again?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul,
That's
if you're around, you're more than invited to come on.
Elblino Reno says
We
just
miss
call
having
it gross beers.
you.
Yeah.
You're gross here.
Just tried something with lactose in it, and then yeah.
If I show up, I expect Ablino Reno to show up. Okay.
It'll be my last. It'll be my last episode till Christmas.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
No.
Hey, don't make this about you. It's about me on my 50th birthday.
Jesus.
Fuck you.
I'm
You know-
coming
you know what,
to
Dan?
celebrate with you.
You know what, Dan? I'm glad you finally stood up to her. She's
God
been
damn
bullying you for too long.
You will no longer be my bed.
Oh.
Damn it!
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I'll
That's okay,
bring
I
a
just-
high ABV saison.
That's all right. I've just been downgraded to her toilet, so.
Jesus, you just wanted her to sit on your face.
I'll take what I
poo.
can get.
Anyway, all right. So I want to thank Paul, Belino Reno, Scott, Jimmy C, and Marcin for hopping on the chat tonight. We will be back next week for our Dan episode, and we'll chat with you folks later. First, of course, we always
Happy
got to remember to
Halloween. It's a Halloween episode. Happy Halloween. There we go. Happy
Right.
Halloween.
There might be a bag of. Oh, hang on. There's a bag of dicks. Bag of dicks.
Right. All right. Have a good night. folks.
Bag of dicks.
Dan, eat your bag of dicks.